Welcome to this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through their insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have Kyle Perry. He is a mindset, fitness, and nutrition coach, and he's a USMC veteran. Welcome to the show, Kyle.
Morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How are you, Kyle?
I'm great. Can't complain. I already woke up, did my burpees this morning, got ready for the podcast, so things are going good.
Wonderful. Wonderful. You said it's your birthday today?
I started some burpees already before I ate breakfast, got a little workout in. I try to wake up in the mornings and do something I don't like doing. It builds the first little win for the day to build discipline.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So let's have a good discussion on this day about we'll be talking about how to create an unbreakable mindset with you. So Kyle, to understand from you, why do you talk much on mindset? Means what is it about mindset that attracts you? And then we'll come to the other questions.
So I harp on mindset the most because, some people will call me a fitness coach, but I don't like being called a fitness coach because if you can't internalize the change up here in your mind first, no change will happen. I don't care if it's fitness, your career goals, your relationship goals, you're fixing your relationship with your kids. There's so many people that talk just to hear themselves talk, but they never actually internalize the change because they have no self-accountability at all. So without mindset, everything else fails.
Okay. So is it about because you were in the USMC and is it because of that, or is it because you needed that to lose, as you say, 100 lbs, that is 100 pounds, if I understand. So when did this mindset actually catch your mind?
So I've always really had a mindset that where I was above my peers. That's why I went to the Marine Corps, to get away from my environment. I gained weight once I left the Marine Corps because I was working a corporate job. I was like the youngest person on paper at a chemical plant as a plant manager. I was only 26 years old running the whole plant. But, in the corporate world, everyone celebrates with alcohol. Plus the Marine Corps is really big on drinking. So I was always drinking, didn't really rely on fitness anymore because I stopped my fitness business because I was doing so well in my corporate job. But I had zero purpose or passion for it. Like every day I woke up, I didn't feel like I was fulfilling my purpose. And I kept asking myself, what am I doing this for? And I was like, I'm going to get back in shape. I'm going to start working on my discipline again. And I haven't missed a day since. 7 days a week. I do the same thing. If you watch my Instagram, my day is scheduled out perfect because I do have a very addictive personality. That's why I like alcohol so much. So instead of being addicted.
Yeah, you're back.
I made myself addicted to discipline.
Okay. That's nice. So how did this journey start? Means when did you realize that you have to actually get back into the way you want to be, and in terms of the gaining of weight, and then thinking about, okay, this is the time to find what was your purpose. Your purpose was to lose weight, or you wanted to achieve bigger with that sort of an understanding that you got at that point in time.
I was still working out, and I would always use the excuse, oh, I'm just bulking. That's why I can drink, and that's why I can gain weight. But I just didn't feel internally correct. Like I just did not feel like I was fulfilling my purpose. I had felt off all the time. It just really wasn't like as humans, we're supposed to move a lot, and we're not actually supposed to eat as much food as we do. And like when you're in a caloric deficit for a long period of time, you have so much more mental clarity than you will ever realize. Like when you fast and you do other things like that, it changes your mindset and your energy that you give to other people around you. Your life altogether becomes a better life, because if you can give better energy to the person beside you, they give better energy to you, and then it's just a chain link effect across every relationship you have. And then those people treat other people better. And just from treating one person better with how you are, you might change 100 lives that day down the road.
Right. In terms of finding purpose, you say that you came from a bad background, and you thought leaving for the Marine Corps would save your life, but and later on, you came out from that. So, how are you still finding your purpose, or you have found it. I want to understand your mindset, because you talk about mindset, you talk about purpose. So how did it work for you so that others can also listen to you and understand from you uh, that yes, this can be done.
So I definitely found my purpose. I left my corporate job. I was making close to $100,000 a year with a bonus at my corporate job, and I threw all that away just to help people and actually do my mindset, fitness, and nutrition coaching. I remember I texted my wife and I said, I'm no longer happy here. I need to figure out what I want to do again. And I've always wanted to help people. Like even in my
Oh,
friend group or my peer group, I've been the one that would try to push people to the next level. And a lot of people push back because if they're not ready for the next level up, they're gonna push back. They're gonna be very negative, and they're not gonna want to be around you anymore. So I've always had that, like, trying to help people. Like, I've never been into drugs. I've only been into alcohol, but a lot of my friends were into drugs. I've always been the person to try to detox them, help them out. Like, I had a buddy that moved here from California. He slept on my couch for 6 months, and he was extremely addicted to alcohol. And that time I was already starting to get sober, and I helped him out so much and motivated his life so much. He went from sleeping on my couch at 31 to joining the Army Special Forces. So if you can be a positive impact on people and you can actually change someone's lives, the feeling you get from that is probably one of the most euphoric feelings. It's better than any high, any alcohol, anything at all, because just to watch someone's life change in front of you is like it's a high itself. Like, even these podcasts, when I come on here and I talk, I have to like come down from these because it's such a euphoric feeling. It's almost like my addiction.
absolutely, absolutely. So to understand from you, you talked about purpose and also about mindset. You talk about creating an unbreakable mindset, and in your story you said that you wanted to help people, and in lots of stories I see that people find a lot of happiness in helping others. But many a times you realize this only after a long time has gone. Only the wise are able to understand it earlier, and the very fortunate understand it a bit more earlier than that. In terms of people who want to create an unbreakable mindset, how what should be their purpose? Because mindset and purpose, that needs to go along very well, and then only that will lead to happiness. And so what do you decide that okay, this is I want to do, okay, and then this is what I want to achieve? Like, your purpose in your mindset in an army job will be different than your mindset in a corporate job. Your mindset as a fitness trainer or nutrition coach will be different. And so you need to continue to create that space in your mind, that whole atmosphere, the way you think has to change. So when I decide on making myself or creating an unbreakable mindset for me, how should I also align it with my purpose? How does one do that?
So I'm a big believer in fitness builds the discipline that bleeds into the rest of your life. For example, my sister has just now started losing weight. She's lost almost 50 pounds. And since then, she switched careers. She started doing things. She started becoming more confident. Once you start building discipline, working out, getting your diet in check, and you start to lose weight, feel more confident, you're down to start taking more risk. And that's when you actually find your true purpose, when you're actually living a life that's going in the right direction. It's hard to find your purpose when you're lost in life and you're not really feeling well and you're kind of off and you're just going through the motions. So if you wake up every morning and you do a little bit of a workout, then you start tracking your calories and your macros and you start doing some kind of regimented life, all of a sudden life starts to feel way more clear. Especially if you cut out alcohol and any type of drug, you have so much more of a mental clarity, and then you can start focusing on the things that actually matter versus hanging out with your friends to get drunk. And then that's when you try to find your purpose, depending on if it's helping other people, finding a different career, finding a job you actually enjoy, because it's like 90% of the population don't enjoy their job, but then they stay there for the rest of their lives. But it's because they're so content at that point, they think they can't go do anything else.
Right. So, what sort of people come to your Paris Powerhouse Fitness? One is okay. One people they come and look at better fitness for themselves. But is it much more than that? And how do you help them? Because do they come and just do their exercise and go? It's also about the mindset. Is it also about creating a better mental makeup for them for what they want to achieve in life? How does that work?
Yeah, so I pretty much like peel their lives back like an onion. So I tell them every vice that's holding them back. I tell them exactly what they need to do. So it's mindset, fitness, and nutrition. They get a mindset call every Sunday with me, and I put them in a group of all my clients, and then they can network with each other and keep each other motivated. But it's an hour-long conversation, almost like this, and I break down every part of their life they need help in. So they have a Q&A. They'll ask me what they like. They'll say, hey, this is what I did. This is how I'm feeling. And I'll tell them how to either fix that feeling or what they need to do next to do the next part of their level up in life. Because a lot of fitness coaches, they'll give them just like this plan, and then they just send them on their way. But it's going to fail, because it doesn't matter what any book or any plan says. If that guy or that girl has not internalized the change and you can't help their mindset shift, they're never going to pass it. Like, I just had a conversation with one of my clients, and he was saying that he didn't feel like the results were coming fast enough. And then all I had to say to him was, the results don't come at all if you stop. And that's all he needed to hear. But some people don't even have a fitness coach that reaches out as they give them the plan, and then they're stuck.
Right. So you are a mindset, fitness, and nutrition coach, Kyle. For me, for a person who is listening to this and he wants to create an unbreakable mindset, or you can say improve his mindset, want to achieve something in life, and is in a bad shape. When you are in a bad shape, bad thought process, you add to your weight, you don't look after yourself, and everything looks hazy. How does he get started? What is there a point to get started? Should he just start and get up and join some gym and start running down on the treadmill, or is it, and from a hamster wheel to a treadmill? How does actually it work on the ground? What is the best way to get started for someone who wants to get started?
I think the first thing anyone should do is just start walking. Walking is one of the most healthy things a human can do, and it's the very, very most simple, basic workout you can do. 20 to 30 minutes a day is good enough 7 days a week to improving heart health. And then once you start getting the discipline of walking every day when you don't want to, you increase the walk a little bit longer, and then you cut out a little bit one food and add a little bit of a healthier food. Just find a higher protein option of what you eat now and a lower calorie option, and then start to make subtle changes like that. Like if you're like, I know a lot of my clients that come to me, they drink a lot of full flavored soda. You can do half glass soda, half glass zero soda, and then the next week do 1/4 glass real soda, 3/4 zero soda, and then eventually you'll be drinking the Coke Zeros versus the full flavored Cokes, and now you save yourself 600 calories. So you just start with slow changes, and you start climbing up that hill until that hill becomes a flat surface to where it just seems easy.
Right, right. You also talk about masculinity. Help us understand that concept also, because what does it have any role to who we are? How do we think? Does it have any role to play in mindset? And help us understand. I'm myself don't know much about it, and along with the audience, for whoever doesn't know, they will get a better perspective from you, Kai.
So I know a lot of people aren't religious anymore, but if you break it down to the core of who we are or what we are, our bodies are just supposed to move more, and we're supposed to be good people. And like, if it wasn't meant to be inside of us, like if anger and emotions and like passion and ego and all that stuff wasn't meant to be inside of our bodies, whoever created us would have never gave it to us. So we try to shun away how we feel as men, and we try to shun away the masculinity and the power and everything that we're born with, and society tries to shut it off. But there's a book out there, and it talks about how strong men create weak times and weak times create strong men. And I'm full belief right now that we're in weak times, and strong men are going to start coming back out of the woodworks to help other people, because we tried to shut off masculinity so much that the world's lost. And you need someone to be. You can't make a change unless someone actually tells you, like, hey man, you're overweight, you're not performing well, you're not doing this right. And we need more people like that in the world, because everyone wants to cater to the lazy people. And that's why that's why nothing's open anymore. You can't even do anything 24 hours a day anymore, and people are complaining. But we caused that. We as a generation caused that, because we told them, oh, don't work for that job because it's not going to pay enough, and then just go do whatever you want. But then on the opposite end, the same people are complaining that we're supporting those people through the government. So you're never going to make anyone happy. But we need to bring it back to, like, there's a man has his own role, and a woman has his own role, and synergistically they have roles together. Like me and my wife are like best friends, and we both play our roles. But so many men are lacking in masculinity now that the women are stepping up to the plate, and they don't need men anymore. So then it makes the men even weaker. So it's like we reverse the roles, but it's messing everything else up in society.
Right, right. Thank you for helping us understand. Now, my I want to understand now that you are doing so much of work. What is it that you finally have set your mind to achieve? Have you set any number of people that okay, these are the amount of people that you want to change their lives, help them achieve their true purpose? How does it work for you? How do you build your goals so that people can also understand from it, and especially help us understand how did you break down that whole losing of 100 pounds of thing? Was it a plan, or you just went for it and it happened, or do you have to create different stages of losing weight?
So I never had a specific goal weight. I just disciplined my life to the point I do the same thing every day now. If anyone watches my Instagram, my morning to my night I live the same day over and over, because if I don't live a perfectly structured life, I go into the opposite direction and I go crazy. But that's what people need to do. And if you don't need a permanent goal, just something to start yourself. In my lifelong mission, I have a mission that 22 veterans kill themselves a day. And my ultimate mission is to get as many veterans sober as possible. That's, if you read my Instagram, it says making men and veterans strong again through sobriety. Because I believe sobriety is a superpower. And most people that, take their own lives are normally not in the perfect state of mind, and they get drunk or they get high before they do it. So they actually have the confidence. So one of my good friends, he's in the Army right now. We were in the Marine Corps together. He gets out in February. We want to start working on these sober camps where veterans can pay, but we want the VA to cover it. But if they can't, they'll pay to come to these sober camps. And after they do 8 sober camps, or however many they want, they'll get the final challenge coin. And then they can go to their home state that they live in and start their own sober camp. So we get veterans sober, and then we turn veterans into business owners. So let's say, for instance, it costs $5,000 to come to these master class, and you go to 10 of them. You invested $50,000, but now you just became a business owner that makes you $50,000 a month. That's like an unheard of return on investment. And you're getting hundreds, if not thousands, if not millions over time, people sober. And I want to do that in all 50 states. That's my ultimate goal. Obviously, that's a long-term, 20, 30 years from now. It'd take that long. But my goal right now is just to get as many people off the beaten path and back onto like the best mission we call life, because that's the hardest mission at all, to find their purpose.
Absolutely, absolutely. There is much to learn about mindset, fitness, and nutrition, Kyle. And this one podcast will not solve the problem. People will have to talk to you, come directly to you, and that is where a lot of learning can happen. Most of the learning can happen. So those people who want to know more about you, learn from you, and also engage with you at your Paris Powerhouse Fitness, how can they do that?
So it's all on Instagram. It's Paris_Powerhouse_Fitness. That's all you got to do. Just follow me there, and then you can either DM me, or I just reach out to people every day, just check on their fitness goals. I don't have a landing page. I don't have any of that spammy 1-hour phone call. None of that. Like, I don't try to get you on an hour-long phone call then try to make you sign up, because if you're not ready to sign up, you won't see the results. I'm really open with my pricing. I'm open with everything. But if you go to other people's pages, they try to get you on that phone call, then hit you with the pricing. I charge $299 a month and $750 for 3 months. But if you drop your vices, you will save way more than that in 3 months, because most people spend $20 to $40 a day on DoorDash, fast food, cigarettes, alcohol, and tons of other vices. So if you're willing to invest in yourself, you can change your entire life. Personal development, paying for it, and holding yourself accountable is where it actually comes. Because if I give you a plan for free, everyone knows if you get something for free, you're going to crumble it up and hold no value to it. So it's enough to where you invest into yourself, where you're like, I spent $750. I have to do this. And then all of a sudden you're saving thousands of dollars every couple of months, and your health's in check, and you are actually living your life's purpose.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Don't look for Perry's landing page, land at his Instagram page, and you will find the purpose of your life. He will help you in that. With this, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.